Hello everyone and welcome to All Things Hadar. I would like to thank each and every one of you for being here. I appreciate each of you and I hope that these messages resonate with you. And if you're new here, thanks for stopping by. For everyone, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and share if you feel so inclined. As always, only take what resonates with you and leave the rest. So let's dive in here. As you all know, I live in a very busy household, or, some of you know, and so I will apologize right now if I have to pause the video because of, dogs barking or cats getting crazy or, but it's life, right? We got to learn to go with the flow and let it be whatever it's going to be. I also feel like that when sounds and things interrupt a reading, I feel like they are part of the reading. They are a message which can be interpreted in a variety of ways for each individual, or because there's so many different individuals. All right. Most High, what are we going to talk about for today? Thank you. We have healing. I'll show you closer of the cards when I get them out. As the norm, I do have one of the cats trying to, not actually in my lap now instead of trying. He has a tendency to join me when I'm doing readings, except for when he just fell off. All right. Wisdom. Let's get one more, please. Could we get just one more for the group? These are for the viewers, whether you're watching this as soon as it comes out or you're watching it however long that YouTube and or this channel is active. All right. We have animals and landscapes or places. So I was looking at all of them and I'm really being drawn to the eyes of both of these cards. They both seem like very intense eyes. Okay, so and I'm going to go ahead and do these out of order just because that's what they're drawing my attention to. So in this one, it says wisdom. Experience and failure lead to wisdom. Apply wisdom to a present situation. Learn from the spirit world and its collective knowledge. And then here we have animals. So, and in the animals it says, do you feel free or stifled? Is your situation making you feel caged or unhindered? Would you like to take some new risks? So, it's funny because I just had a conversation with a friend of mine the other day, and we were talking about, if you fail faster, right, and you don't judge the failure, you just basically are saying, so what can I take from this and learn from this, and now let me go do excuse me, either try again or try something different. But the bottom line is that instead of being caught in our failure, which it's not really a failure, right? Because every time something doesn't work out, we have an opportunity to learn something from it and continue to move forward. So I do feel like maybe for some, it's time to take some stock and ask yourself those questions. Are you feeling trapped, stuck, stifled, or do you feel free and able to move about in the flow and create and do whatever you are desiring? you know, answering your questions about that. So is it is it the situation? Is it people involved? Is it the environment? Is it around an event? In animals, I feel like there's, because we do have the dragonfly and it's at her throat. So I feel like for some, you know, keeping wisdom to ourselves doesn't always serve in the best and highest. And that doesn't mean running around. I'm not talking about running around trying to convince everybody that what you've learned is the only thing. I'm just saying, you know, sometimes it is about, okay, I've learned this. Now, how do I communicate or bring that out into the world in my own way? People can pick it up if they desire and leave it if they don't. But yeah, the dragonfly here. So you've got a lot of transmutation, taking flight is what I'm hearing. Taking flight. And again, you're talking about over here, they're asking, you know, do you feel free or do you feel stifled? So for some of you, I feel like this is a really big message around learning to speak your mind, speak your truth. I do say this, though, with the caveat, if you will, that, you know, when we're not used to speaking our mind and we're not used to standing up for ourselves, we're not used to communicating what it is exactly. These are my wants. These are my needs. This is what I don't want. This is what I find not acceptable. This is what I will, right? When we start doing that with boundaries, when we start communicating those limits and those boundaries, one, we're going to get pushback because people aren't used to us being that way. And two, it takes practice, right? So if you just so happen to blurt some things out that are you being truthfully yourself and being honest and voicing and, you know, opening up your chakra there, your throat chakra, and you realize, you know, hey, I've gone way out of line. I was way out of line about this, blah, 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 blah. Or, hey, I realize now that this wasn't about you. This was about something I experienced with someone else, but I projected it onto you. Whatever the case may be, own it. Own it, because that's part of a journey of learning to master ourselves, right? And part of that wisdom is, you know, all I can hear is that one guy, I can't remember, I want to say it's Guns N' Roses, but I'm not sure of that song where they say, you know, what we have here is a failure to communicate. And it's not a failure in the sense, and I don't like the word failure, but it's not about the failure to communicate. It's just maybe you didn't communicate it very well because you're not used to communicating. And again, own it. You know, you can always go to this person later and say, you know what, I delivered that. I could have delivered that in a much better way. I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings or if I offended you. And I've also realized, you know, this, that, or the other, whatever the case may be. I would also say that animal spirit, animal totems might be something for you to look into. So we do have the wolf, we have the deer, which are young stags, young males, bucks, whatever you want to, however you want to say that. And we do have, again, the dragonfly. The first one out was the healing card. And it says, heal past wounds with forgiveness and awareness. Oh, see? Yeah, I get that. By healing yourself, you can become a healing force to others. Physical healing can happen once your wounds have been confronted. So again, it's going to take communication. And this may be starting with communication just with yourself. And without judgment, which can be so challenging in of itself, whether we're judging other people or we're judging ourselves or we're doing all of the above or we're judging, you know, judge, right? It's less about judging, more about just discernment and understanding and then going, oh, okay, yeah, I see that. All right, great. Thank you. I've learned this. Now I can go do it better next time, right? And then we have, and this is going to open you up. I do feel like doing this communication and opening up your throat chakra, healing your throat chakra, is going to do more than the only outcome being your throat chakra. I hope that makes sense. All right, we got landscapes and places. It says, are you comfortable in your environment? Do you wish to explore new experiences and perspectives? Do you wish to escape from your present constraints? And I find it interesting because would you like to take some new risks, and do you wish to explore new experiences and perspectives? So I really do feel like there are some things on the move. And if you look at this card, I mean, that environment to me does not look very welcoming. There's a lot happening in this card. If you kind of look at all the different parts, components, and pieces. And I would have to say that none of them, with the coloring that they used of this, none of this looks inviting. It almost makes me think of, what was the name of that show? I never watched it. Bunch of like ape-like people or something. But they would often show this Statue of Liberty, and it would be like laying in the ground, and it just doesn't look very good. So for some of you, you may be in environments and or situations that are just not ideal right now, or maybe not aligned with you, or maybe they were at one time, but they just aren't anymore. So again, but that's going to take you first tuning into yourself and, you know, having those conversations with yourself and your higher self. And then proceeding to do that with more. And look at what's on the bottom of the deck. We have growth. Growth. Growth requires you to step out of your comfort zone. Growing pains can help you in gaining wisdom and experience. Oh my gosh, see? And these talked about experience. The old must be left behind before growing into the new. And I got people. So for a lot of you, I would say that this could have a lot to do with people in your environment, and maybe that is something to take a look at. You know, don't shoot the messenger, just sharing what I'm getting here. Okay. For each of these cards, I'm just going to ask for, we're going to ask for one more card. We'll see what they give us. One more card from each of these two decks to go deeper, and then we'll see about what do we need to do, if we need to bring in tarot or no. All right, let's do one more shuffle. I did pre-shuffle all of these, but all right. So let's get one, let's go deeper into the healing card. Let's look more at the healing card, which if any of you are into numerology, this is number 51 for the healing card. 26 for the wisdom card, 10 for the animals, and 8 for the landscapes and places, and 49 for growth. Wow. And we have 26 to go with healing, and it's sacred journey. A sacred journey. So I find this really interesting. So many of you know Shy from Evermind Oracle. She has an Etsy shop, and she does the Evermind Oracle channel. She also has another channel. I think it's Evermind Tarot or something like that. But I do know of her. I love Shy. I love Shy. Anyways, I had a session with her once, and she was showing me how, you know, there was this, like, these rings, right? Or a spiral. It was a spiral. And you start out in the center, and it gets bigger, right? It gets bigger, and it gets bigger, and it gets bigger, and everything, right? And in that particular case, she was talking about how you can have something happen here, right? And we come back around again, and we feel like we're experiencing it again, but it's not really that we're experiencing it again. It's that we're passing it. So as long as we don't repeat the same that we've always done, we won't be back into the same thing. We'll just pass it and know, okay, it's just an echo of the past. I don't have to do anything with it. I just need to keep moving forward in an aligned way, space, and shape that it is for me. And what I'm seeing in this is almost kind of like that. It's almost like it started out, okay, there's this, and then you keep going around and around and around and around and around, and then finally it's like, you know what? I'm done with that now. I've moved beyond and past that. And again, with this healing, it's talking about healing the past wounds with forgiveness and awareness. And by healing yourself, you can become a healing force for others. And it's about confronting your wounds. But to me, then it's also about then starting on a new journey, right? Because this has now broken free from this going around and around, and it's now coming out here. And there's even like an arrows there pointing you in the right direction. And I feel like with all of these, almost like it makes me think of like a peacock's plumage. I feel like a couple of things. One, I'm feeling like it's so colorful that once you make it out of this round and round and round and round, right, it can be so colorful and open you up to so many different new experiences. And within each of those experiences is you start out with that experience and it expands outward, right? It's, again, for those of you who know me, have heard me say this often, that, you know, it's the ripple effect, right? It vibrates out. It's those ripples. You know, you can put a drop of food coloring into a glass of water and just watch it ripple out and move and swirl and go around, right? So there is that part. The other part of it, I feel like, is it's almost like I feel like it's a lot of spiritual support. Whether that's, you know, ancestors, your spirit guide team, your animal spirits, or a combination of all of them, you know, an utmost high, or, you know, God, source, spirit, whatever that is for you, past lives. And I feel like when we start facing and looking within, and we start speaking our truth, starting with speaking, how do we speak to ourselves? How are we talking to ourselves? And then how can I, you know, go in and just keep talking to work through, to bring to the surface things that need my attention, so that then I know what I can heal. It's not about judging it. It's not about getting stuck in that. It's about awareness. Now I know what it can heal. Now I know what it can do to move forward into the next part of my journey. And this is all a sacred journey, right? I mean, it's not like, oh, you're going to do this, it's one and done, and now you just move on. You do move on, but you're going to move on to continuing your sacred journey. Okay, I hope that makes sense. All right, let's get a card for wisdom. Okay, I was going to take it, but it went back in. So, all right, let's get another one for wisdom. Let's go deeper and get more information on the wisdom card, please. Thank you. Yes, be fearless. Experience and failure lead to wisdom. Apply wisdom to a present situation and learn from the spirit world and its collective knowledge, and you have be fearless. Now, I find this really, I mean, to me, it's like, wow, see, you can't make this stuff up. You have the lighthouse here with the beam of light, but she's actually looking down. She's not even looking at the light or at the sun. Yet, she still is infused with all of this light. And I don't know if you can see it very well, but there's literally like a line of light coming off of the lighthouse, and just is all around her, which, again, all around that you know, your spirit team, your, you know, God, source, spirit, universe, whatever that is for you, and is all around you, and you carry light. You have that light within yourself. And I feel like the way she's just looking down, and again, I don't know if you can see the expression on her face very well, because it's more of like a suggestion versus very sharp features, like, you know, very clear, right? It feels like I guess to me, it's almost like she looks like she's sad. And don't get me wrong, we can have things not work out and they can make us angry, sad, devastated, perturbed, ticked, disappointed, you know, whatever that is, right? And trust me, I get it. I'm not saying it's easy to not judge it. In fact, I think most of us do judge it. It's just how long do we sit in that before we go, okay, look it. I get it. I see how that happened. I understand now. I can move forward, kind of thing. And it does take a lot of guts, a lot of courageousness and bravery, right? To continue on down that road, especially when we've been dealing with failures and disappointments and things not working out the way we thought they would. But again, it's about not having attachment to the outcome and letting things play out however it is they're meant to play out. And that does give us a lot of wisdom. Being fearless is not about not being afraid. It's not about the absence of being afraid. It's about not allowing your fear to keep you stuck. It's about not allowing, even if you have been stuck, to determine your quality of life and its outcome anymore. And again, I'm not saying that, oh, it's just, that's it. Once you do that, you're fine. You know, there's still work, and there are still things like divine timing that play into everything, and, you know, but we have to start somewhere. And I mean, I get it. I understand that. Excuse me. I get that. You know, I've been working on myself for a long time, and again, it's a journey. It's not a one and done. And, you know, it takes practice, and trust me, I'm not saying I've mastered any of that, right? It's just, we just keep plugging and doing and getting better and better and better. And that's the journey. That's the process. All right. With animals, again, we had that. Do you feel free or stifled? Is your situation making you feel caged or unhindered? And would you like to take some new risks? And we have unconditional love. So I feel like maybe for some of us, there may be some that are struggling with self-love, self-acceptance. Self-acceptance is huge. You know, and again, if we don't have self-love for ourselves, how are others supposed to love us, or how are we supposed to love others? Because then if we're out of balance in how we see, perceive, love, care for, accept, nurture ourselves, then that means our frequency and vibration is not humming at its optimal aligned vibration, which means that whatever quality that is, that's what we're giving out, that rippling effect, right? I really do feel like that there is a need for some unconditional love and acceptance, no matter where you're, for yourself, no matter where you are in your journey. And again, I get it. It's much easier said than done. Much easier said than done. But I do see how the root, or not the root, maybe for some of you it is about your root chakra, but because I don't know why I came that out, because there's, the focus is up here. The heart chakra and the crown especially. You know, heart and mind, getting the heart and the mind on the same page, getting the healing in both the heart and the mind. Nope, upside down. Okay. And then we have the landscapes and places. Let's go get a little more detail on that, please. Landscapes and places, please. Thank you. Surrender. All right. And on the front, on the bottom of the deck, we have move forward. Okay. And move forward comes out here with growth. Can't make it up. All right. When we see surrender and we see the landscapes and places, clearly to me, this landscape is not a place of comfort. And I feel like this card for surrender, I don't feel like it's saying that you have to stay there or, well, just surrender and just be happy where you are. I think it's more about, and I'm not saying you can't do that, but I'm just saying, I think that the message anyway, what I'm getting from it is more about, instead of fighting, resenting, being, hateful, resentful, bitter, angry, frustrated, anxious, panicky about your environment, breathe. Breathe, allow yourself to get grounded and connected. And it's not saying, okay, I'm just resigning to the fact that I have to stay here. No, that's not what it's saying at all. But all the energy that you expend in anger, frustration, bitterness, resentment, etc., 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 is one, low vibing, and two, it's energy that you could actually be channeling towards changing something, anything. First is, letting go of all those low vibing emotions and thoughts and beliefs around the situation so that you can then shift your energy, right? It's going to allow you to shift this faster if you shift this. I hope that makes sense to you guys. And, I mean, let's be honest here. Most Hadarians, myself included, we've had our many, many experiences, and typically many, many lifetimes of these experiences of being in these low vibing environments, relationships, situations, practices, beliefs, etc., etc. And we have to start somewhere, we have to be able to start somewhere. If we want to see change, doing nothing is still the decision to not change. So, all right, let's start over here again with Healing and Sacred Journey. Can we get another card to go a little more into the story here? Let's get a little more. I'm really liking this reading. Abundance. Yeah, see, the healing, the sacred journey, and we have abundance. I love that. I mean, because I feel like that this is basically saying that when you allow yourself to do your healing work, to go in and really look at yourself, being totally honest with yourself, that is part of your sacred journey. And taking the wisdom and the things that you've learned from that introspection and doing something with it to shift things, right, is what's going to bring in your abundance. And abundance doesn't mean just money. I mean, look at all of the emotions and those waterfalls back there, but the water right in front of her is calm, and she's embracing all of it. She is open to all of it. Yeah, I like that. I like that because, it's not about ignoring our feelings or what has been happening. Oh, look at this. That's funny. I like that. And again, it's around water. Okay. Let's go further with the wisdom and be fearless, please. Can we get some more details on that? There is the potential, as we see here, though, with all of this abundance. White light. And again, ripple effect. Water makes rippling effects. White light. Again, what do we see all over in this card? White light. The lighthouse, literally, and her being surrounded and infused with this white light. And then we have this white light, which is very angelic support. And we have this light that she's facing, again, a very white light that she's facing there and heading towards. So I would also say with this, there's times that you may feel like you're alone, but you're not. And I totally get that. But we are actually surrounded. And that's very nice confirmation, I feel, for along here. And I also noticed, Yeah. I just saw that. So the dragonfly here actually has this beam of white coming into it. Do you see that? And then its eyes are white. I think that beam is actually her finger, but her finger is white. Like really white. Interesting. Being infused with light. All right, let's go further with the animals and unconditional love. Do I have these the right way? I do. Animals and the unconditional love. Can we get another card for this, please? Gain a little more insight. Okay. Oh, look at that. Isn't that funny? So he came out anyway. I think that that's too funny. All right. Unconditional love, we have spirit guides and we have doorways. So by doing our work, right, and getting ourselves connected, and getting ourselves doing our introspection, doing our healing work, you know, going and surrendering to our sacred journey, you know, I feel like, again, I had just said how we're always surrounded. And here we are, we got the angels and we have all of our spirit guides. And, you know, again, utmost high, God, source, spirit, universe, whatever that is for you, always, always connected and with you. And we have the doors of opportunity. So I feel like, you know, we have all of this support that is moving on our behalf, wide open, wide open, wide open, that are moving on our behalf and going to be creating opportunities that are going to be opening up to us along our way. Now, whether those are people, places, events, situations, aha moments, healing tools, gifts, things coming in, releasing things. The bottom line is that there are doorways opening. And if you can see he's been to these other doors and they didn't open. Do you see that? To me, this is saying maybe these go back to those things that just didn't work out. But what I got before I got that thought was how we shift and change ourselves and do our work here on this us that is here in this reality does, in my belief, and so take it if it resonates and leave it if it doesn't, but in my belief, if we shift this us, we're shifting all of the us's. Or if you shift this self of yourself, you are shifting all of the yous in other dimensions and realities, which is always, you know, all of your pasts, presents, and futures. By doing the work that you do here, same as what the work you do there, you can shift you shift all of the other yous. I hope that makes sense. And if that doesn't resonate with you, then leave it. That's fine. All right, we got landscapes and surrender. So could we get another card to go a little bit farther, gain some more insights, get some more details? Oh, I had the deck upside down. I'm sorry. All right. Bag of marbles. That's funny. All right. What came out? We have rainbows, celebration, and third eye. When I said third eye, they drew my eye to this card. Oh, look at that. See how much her face is lit up compared to the rest of her body? I feel like this surrendering allows you to receive download or downloads of something. And again, notice how she's infused with all of this white light. And again, they were showing me this, and because I believe I had said it was about the heart and the crown, but that's why they drew my eye to it, because it's not just the heart, the crown, it's the heart, the crown, and the third eye. Take a close look at that, if I can quit shaking. See that? Third eye. So I would say that what this is telling me, and to me, rainbows, wow. So for some of you, the rainbow, you may want to look up the colors, the energies of the colors that are in the rainbow, and see which one or ones are like relaying a specific message to you. Rainbows are also about a promise, and this is actually a double rainbow. So this is like, you know, I was going to say twofold, but I'm hearing actually more than tenfold. So this holds great potential. Rainbows are about promises between ourselves and our, however you word it, again, our most high, universe, God, source, spirit, whatever that is for you. This is about a message or a promise. And yeah, and again, I think it goes back to this, to the healing. I think it goes to the healing here. Which if we surrender, that we also are then allowing ourselves to receive from our guides and from our angelic supporters. I would suggest, take it if it resonates, that, you know, if you need help being in that space of surrender, you don't know what it looks like, or you're, you know, you feel like, well, I'm not really aware of when I'm shifting out of surrender. You can ask for that help. Ask for that help for, you know, your team to come in and guide you, nudge you in some way to let you know, oh, wait a minute, hold on, you know, you're going out of surrender and you're moving into whatever, so that you can go, oh, okay, I'm aware of that now. Let me get it back, myself back on course, back into alignment again, right? And again, because it's not just about speaking, it's recognizing, you know, these things take practice. And again, I feel like it's saying that, you know, when we do the work, we do our healing, we work on going within and expressing ourselves and healing our chakras and doing our work, whatever that looks like for us, whether that's mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, energetic, cosmic, galactic, intuitively, it doesn't matter. I feel like, and because I feel like for all of us, it's probably something on every level, right? By doing the work, we open ourselves more and more and more, open, right? To that which is meant for us. And we can leave behind more and more and more what is no longer serving us, or what never was ours, but we took on. And then we have celebration. Well, I think that one's pretty self-explanatory. You know, by doing our work, we are creating the option here to have reasons to celebrate. I also feel like it's really, really important to learn to recognize and celebrate those, you know, each of those successes, whether they be like, nobody else is going to know that this is a success, but me, celebrate it anyway. Those are just as important, if not even more important, than that huge celebration that everybody is witness to. Because if you wouldn't have done all of those other steps that have created all of those other successes, you wouldn't have gotten to that big success. So, and I feel like that's also a big part of self-appreciation and self-acceptance with self-love. Right? And I do feel it also nurtures yourself. So self-nurturing as well, by acknowledging those things that we have accomplished and that we have done. Okay. Well, I don't really feel like there's a need to go into the tarot to clarify anything. I really feel like this was a wonderful reading. I am going to pause for a moment, and if you are not interested in receiving the clearing work, this would be your time to then give us a thumbs up if you feel so inclined to do so. But this would be the time then that you would want to go ahead and leave the video. For those of you who are interested in receiving the clearing work, and I don't even know what all that's going to be yet at this moment. I will channel that through as it comes in. I tend to want to look at each of the cards and see what comes through in that moment. But for those of you who want to stay to receive it, then I would suggest pausing the video, getting yourself comfortable, whatever that looks like. Please, though, make sure that you're not somewhere that you're going to fall over and hurt yourself should you fall asleep or you just get really relaxed. Or some of us, myself included, can have those moments where we're like, whoa, what was that, right? Like we kind of feel almost like dizzy, or like when you stand up too fast and you get a head rush, right? So we want to make sure that you're safe so that you can be, lay down, relax, or sitting down where if you fall forward and you're just going to fall forward into your own lap, you're not going to fall out of a chair or fall onto a hard surface with your head or anything like that. Get some relaxing music going because I'm pretty much going to be silent throughout this process. So if you would prefer to have something to listen to, then I would suggest that you do that. I am going to pause my video for a moment because I am going to go put the dogs away, just because hopefully, with them put away and the radio on for them, they won't start barking, because it can be quite jarring if you're completely relaxed and then all of a sudden dogs are going crazy. So if that does happen, I apologize. But yes, go get ready, do what you want to do, get some water, and then when you're ready, come back to the video. Okay, so just so you guys are aware, I never know how long this part is going to be. I don't know if it's going to be a minute or two, or if it's going to end up being something that runs long. So if you don't have time right now, then you may want to wait and come back and listen to this later. Okay. So right now, I just ask, get comfortable, relax, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Breathe in to the count of 4, pause, and release out the mouth, count of 4. Utmost high of all that is, I ask that you run the ground and connect now. Thank you. It's just really getting us connected and grounded to the core and heart of Mother Gaia, and getting us connected into the heart and the eye of God, Source, Spirit, Universe, Utmost High, whatever that is for you. Just continue to relax. And I'm going to be mostly quiet now. I may speak occasionally. Just continue to breathe and relax. Just continue to breathe and relax. Okay. So I would just like for you to, again, just relax. But we're coming all the way back now to be fully embodied, fully present, fully aware, fully grounded, fully connected. And then whenever you're ready, take a few deep breaths, nice and cleansing and centering, and open your eyes. I hope that this reading resonated with you and that the work we just did just really helps you to feel fortified to move forward, and to be open to the changes and the opportunities that lie before you. Thank you all so much for being here. If you feel so inclined, please give it the thumbs up, like, subscribe, and share, as this really does help the channel, which holds the potential to help our collective and our planet as well as our universe. Thank you all so much for being here. Make sure you hydrate, rest if you're tired, sleep if you're sleepy, and I'll see you next time. Bye.